Hi, I'm artist Will Hawk, and I'm here to share my passion for painting dew-covered flowers in acrylic paints. Today, I'll guide you step by step to bring you the same realism you see on this canvas to yours. Let's get started. Beginning with a high-res reference photo, throw it into Illustrator and add our 2-inch grid lines. You'll need matte medium, both fluid and heavy body acrylic paints, brushes in a variety of sizes, frog tape, the Masterson Stay Wet palette with sponges and palette paper, gesso, I like to tint mine with red, and a high-quality gallery-wrapped canvas. I pull my palette colors from the reference in Illustrator, then mix my colors, spray the Stay Wet palette with a light mist and cover it up while I grid out the canvas and sketch my reference. Let's paint. I like to establish the darkest colors first as the background. The goal here is to lay the foundation and fill in the basic shapes outlined in your sketch and cover up the pink gesso layer and grid lines. You can be a little messy and have fun with your brushes. There's not a lot of blending in this phase of the piece. That's why it's called blocking. Remember to wash your brushes using the paint puck. I like to use 2 water cups filled often with hot water. Starting the detail pass with adding some dimension to the center of the daisy, the disc floret. Begin by applying the darkest color, then layering a couple midtones and completing it with the brightest color as the highlight. This will vary depending on which flower you're working on and whether it's fully shaded or in full sunlight. I achieve the variation in colors by mixing whites, bright yellows into the base color for highlights and burnt sienna or dark umbers for the shadowy areas. I finish off the glistening water with a titanium white. Don't worry, you'll see this process a couple more times in this video. Now, to what my dad would say, the meat and potatoes, the dewdrops. There's 6 areas to consider. First, the shape. Water drops take a very specific shape depending on surface and direction, so be very intentional. Your eyes should be glued to your reference. Number 2, the cast shadow. I like to start here because it generally defines the shape of the drop. Most times I'll paint the whole drop and build everything on top to enhance the real effect. Number 3, the illuminated area. This is the light source magnified onto the flower petal's surface, which also defines the shape. Number 4, the top shadow, which is the reflection of the cast shadow onto the top of the drop. Number 5, the blend, from the illuminated area to the top of the shadow. You can achieve this effect also by just adding some mid-tone in between. And number 6, the beauty of the highlight. Placement here is key in realism, especially when you're painting multiple drops. The drops you see here, dripping from the disc floret, are picking up a light green hue in the top shadow because they're so close to the green. These ones are my favorite because they're not like the others. They're more dramatic and more unique. Don't tell the others. Here, you see I'm applying the same technique of laying down the cast shadow and the top shadow first, then going back to hit the illuminated areas and the highlight. The tip of this particular petal looks like it has a mist on it, so I'm just applying a titanium white with a stippling technique. Lastly, to fill in this dark void that is the left bottom corner, we'll finish the leaf. Using a marginally brighter tone than the background, applying a lighter green vein, then onto these cool, almost black-looking drops, and finishing it off with some blended midtones and highlights that just make this leaf 10 out of 10. Check it out. Now jumping into the finish work, tape. I like to take my paint about a 1/4 inch past the round corner edge of the canvas so that when I apply the tape, I don't have any pink peeking through. Then paint a thick saturated edge all the way around. Make sure you get good coverage and then pull the tape and you're done. All right, let's check out the reference and compare it to the finished product. Let's see how we did. Dang! That turned out nice. Great job, guys. Hey, thanks for watching. Until next time, see ya.